Hi everyone, it's time for the weekly video. Competition's done and out of the way, so it's a good job that I have some posts this week and some topic of conversation I wanted to run by you. Basically, with Indicator having released the Norman J. Warren set and one or two other nice upgrades, 88 Films are bringing out the Flesh and Blood show, the films of Pete Walker, and we've had Pete Walker's saucy British films released. I am hoping for, perhaps one day, a really nice replacement for these. They're both wonderful, the Amicus collection and the Tygon collection. These are, again, both Anchor Bay releases, and someone last week won the Pete Walker collection that was in the same format. So it would be really nice to get us, especially the Tygon collection, because I often go on about how I used to be allowed to stay up late on a Friday or Saturday night. The babysitter was looking after me. He would record my parents' music collection while I was allowed to watch horror movies. And I thought they were all Hammer horror movies, because you just think back on these times and assume it was always Hammer horror movies on late at night on double bills, especially if they starred Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. The one that is seared into my memory and that I couldn't track down for a long time is a film that, again, I think I asked people about years ago on the IMDb boards when those were around and when they were useful. And it's actually a Tygon movie called The Creeping Flesh. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are in there. The basic plot is I'm going from memory here, a skeleton is found that could be, I think, the missing link, could be seen as a missing link. When a little bit of water is dropped on it, on its little finger actually, flesh starts to grow around the little finger. It starts to regenerate. In a panic, someone chops it off, and they know that there's something dangerous and devilish afoot. It's very good. I think it gave me my first appreciation of Lee, of Cushing, and of the casting of whoever was main buxom wench, who could also be turned slightly evil, because that's, the enduring memory of it. Directed by Freddie Francis. I can't recall who wrote the story or the full screenplay. I just quickly checked a few details before talking about it today because of the link from Tygon. Anyway, if Indicator were to look into those movies, that would be nice, or maybe even 88 Films or Arrow. Who knows? I think some of the companies are busy upgrading titles they've released before to 4K, and those things make money for them, and they've got to do what makes money for them in between releasing more interesting sort of sets that collectors might want to get their hands on. So until that day comes along, I will hang on to those. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Pete Walker set in Blu-ray. That's going to be really nice. Anyway, what did I receive this week? Well, a bit of classic Buster Keaton, 3 Ages, another nice Eureka release. I've not seen this one, so I look forward to fitting it in. It's only about 70 minutes, so easier to fit in than some of the purchases that I make. I do like Buster Keaton. Who doesn't? Sounds like something stupid to say. I upgraded and I got the 6 movie Scream collection on Blu-ray. I had a few of them before and one on DVD. I've said quite often before I wasn't a fan of Scream 2022, but Scream 6 was so good that it managed to win me back round to the series. So I wanted to have the full selection available to me. So I got that. Wasn't a bad price. I think it was about just over 40 on Amazon. I'm sure you can track it down for hopefully even cheaper prices if you keep your eyes peeled. CEX trip yesterday, as I was passing by, had this in. £15 this was, and I couldn't find it cheap elsewhere. I've been keeping my eyes peeled for this. Now, I've not seen these Tarzan films since I was, I'm going to say 8 or 9. I have fond memories of these. Johnny Weissmuller is, you know, the Tarzan for me, and with the Tarzan cry, with, was it Cheetah? I think his monkey companion. Didn't even realise it was Maureen O'Sullivan as Jane for at least some of these. I have major nostalgia for them. They are some of the movies that were often on early in the mornings during holiday season. They were well-paced adventures in my memory, and I'm sure it'll be a bit different to watch those today. I'm sure I'll notice the casual racism and the miscasting of many characters dotted around there, but I hope that I still find the affection for them that I've had since I was a kid. Having not seen them in almost 40 years, it's going to be something that I visit with trepidation, but I really do look forward to them. I picked up £15. I thought that's a bargain, that'll do me. Last but by no means least, I picked up the Second Sight special edition of Bull, which has the film, has a nice booklet, has a load of postcards. Now, I can't recall if I mentioned this in the past couple of weeks. Bull is currently on Netflix in the UK. I hadn't seen it, I somehow hadn't got around to it. It's directed by Paul Andrew Williams. I think it's written and directed by Paul Andrew Williams. Stars Neil Maskell. I'm a fan of both Williams and Maskell. It's really good. Like, it's great. I thought it was just fantastic. It has really horrendous violence that will, you know, turn your stomach if you're not up to that. And it has a story that I think plays out perfectly. I liked where it went. I didn't feel tricked or just unsatisfied by the ending. I've seen other people who have very different feelings on the matter, and I can understand where they're coming from. It's quite a, you know, divisive film. Divisive. It's I think it's great though. I think everyone should at least try it. As I say, if you've got the stomach for the material, I think you should, you know, make up your mind on what you think as the end credits roll. And again, you may absolutely hate it, and I can understand having that reaction to it. I am very much in the love camp, and I hope people would watch it and that more people would love it. It's a fantastic central role for Maskell. It's another great film from Williams, and he's sort of done a few over the past decade or so, but he's not the most prolific writer director. But I think when he makes films, whatever you end up thinking of them, I think he definitely makes something that is speaking to him, whether it's in terms of the themes that he's exploring or the story that he wants to tell, that he thinks he has the right vision for, and that's really commendable. I've always been a fan of that man since I got to meet him years ago, and he allowed me to interview him while I had a notebook and a pen. I didn't even have a smartphone at the time. It was a meeting after I'd written quite an unflattering critical review of of a film that he had showing at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. And yeah, that was a nice reminder that there are always people behind the films that we watch and could quite easily just choose to slag off in print behind the anonymity of a computer screen. It was good. He didn't change my mind on that film, but he did win me over as just a generally nice guy and a director with the best intentions and a good sort of working mindset. So anyway, as a reminder, because I've waffled on, Bull. So I think there are still some versions of this available, the limited edition Blu-ray set. It's a really nice set from Second Sight. Again, there might be copies out there at a slightly better price. I don't know. I ordered from the site direct to support them because they also did May, which I picked up a few weeks ago, Boiling Point, and a couple of other things that I've mentioned on these videos. That's it for this week. I don't want to drone on and on and on. We have picked up on our 1 or 2 subscribers. Thank you. Anybody that's watched this, please like, subscribe, share if you like. I'm sorry there was no competition to provide extra motivation this week, but I hope that you don't mind my waffling approach, and I hope some of you have fond memories of the old Tarzan movies, of the Tygon movies, even if you have also mistaken them for Hammer movies over the years. And let's see what the future brings if a company does pick any of those up and gives us a shiny new upgraded Blu-ray or even 4K set for those films. I'm not doing 4K, but I know some of you are. I'll be happy with the Blu-rays. That's it for now. Enjoy the rest of the week.